Hello and a very warm welcome to our coverage of the second leg of this 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifying first round clash between Eswatini and Djibouti. The second leg taking place in the Mavuso Stadium, and Eswatini need to turn the tie around if they're to reach the second round, which is a group stage consisting of 10 groups of 4 nations. Djibouti winning 2-1 in the first leg. Mahabe from the penalty spot. Mamba equalised for Eswatini. Eswatini then saving a second Mahabe penalty. But Hamza followed up to give Djibouti, coached by the Frenchman Julien Met, a vital 2-1 advantage to take in to this second leg. 3 years ago, Eswatini defeated the Shoremen of the Red Sea at the same stage of qualifying, 8-1 on aggregate, recording their biggest ever win. Julien Met downplayed the importance of that result, and he was right to do so. His players looking far more confident in the first leg than they did in that tie 3 years ago. Costa Papic is the Eswatini coach. Eswatini much higher ranked in Africa than their opponents. Djibouti third from bottom in the African rankings when the draw was made, in 52nd position. Eswatini 39th. Neither country has ever been to a FIFA World Cup or to an Africa Cup of Nations finals. Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, of course. We await the arrival of the two sets of players onto the field for this second leg tie. Extra time and penalties if required. Away goals do count double, so for it to go to extra time, it would need Eswatini to replicate Djibouti's 2-1 first leg win. The stadium does hold 5,000. There is a small crowd in on this Tuesday afternoon. A shock for Eswatini to lose the first leg, but the home supporters will be hoping that the Djibouti advantage can be overturned. Djibouti coming off a long losing streak before beating Eswatini in the first leg. Eswatini against Djibouti for a place in the second round of 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifying in Africa. Djibouti winning the first leg between these nations by 2-1. That was something of a shock. They had 2 penalties awarded in that game. The officials will have a key role to play today. One of the penalties was scored by Mahabe, the second was saved, but Hamza was able to follow up and score. And that put Djibouti back ahead after Mamba had cancelled out the first penalty that was scored late in the first half in the first leg. So 2-1 to Djibouti, coached by the young Frenchman Julien Met, who has taken inspiration from Madagascar's run to the last 16 of the Africa Cup of Nations earlier this year. Eswatini will feel they have what it takes to overturn their 1-goal first leg deficit. Eswatini in their blue strips. They've brought Sibon Kosi into their side today, the number 6. Djibouti, well, they have Hamza and Derir, who have been brought in. The traditional pre-match presentations ongoing. And soon the captains will be able to exchange pennants and get on with things. Eswatini trailing by 2-1 after the first leg. The national anthems are imminent. And as always, the first national anthem to be played will be that of the visitors from Djibouti. The national anthems are done and we're 5 minutes away from kickoff at the Mavuso Stadium. Tense moments these for the two sets of players. (2-1) in the first leg on September the 4th. 6 days later, they are playing for a place in the group phase. Let's have a look at the Eswatini lineup. Sibonkosi is in, the number 6. Justice Figueiredo wearing number 7. And there's a look at the bench. Beda Dahane is the referee from Mauritania. The pennants being exchanged, and Gwenya captaining Eswatini today. A coin toss to decide who will kick off and which end they'll go for. They are indeed the captains. The number 15 from Djibouti and number 18 from Eswatini. Let's have a look at the Djibouti lineup then. Daoud Wais wearing the captain's armband. Several number changes compared to the first leg there. Osama Hassan, former Belgian youth international, out of the team and on the bench today. Matabele Sandanzwa in the Eswatini goal saved the second penalty in the first leg, but it didn't prevent Djibouti from scoring. Eswatini today will be trying to pile the pressure on the goal kept by Innocent Hankui. Supporters have taken their place in the shade. A handful of supporters on the far side from our main camera, and then made sure they've got out of the sun as the second leg between Eswatini and Djibouti is underway. Eswatini trailing 2-1 after the first leg. There is a place in the group stage, that is the second round stage of African qualifying for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar at stake. The first blow, Abeda Dahani's whistle after the game had started to award a free kick to the home team. Eswatini stroking it about, trying to build through Justice Figueiredo in midfield. Touched off nicely, and in comes the cross. It was low towards the 6-yard box. A bright start from Eswatini. Matzik waiting in the middle, being closely marked by Daula Mahmoud. It's important that Eswatini, coached by Costa Papic, are patient. They don't go chasing the game too much. They do have an away goal, so 1-0 today would be enough. Extra time and penalties if required. That would need a replica of the 2-1 scoreline from the first leg, but in Eswatini's favour today. That's good hold-up play from Djibouti. A real confidence boost for them, getting that first leg victory. Number 9, Mada Hussein Mahaba, scored from the penalty spot, had a second penalty saved. Hamza followed up to score. Well kept in by Djibouti. They have a little bit of pace, but so too do the home defence. Great covering actually by Nabazandaba. Figueiredo touches it off to Makonta. Flamini. Sibonkosi. Needed a little bit more accuracy there. That's good hold-up play from Mahabe. Djibouti with some short passing in midfield. Eswatini arguably with the physical edge, and Ngwenya, the captain, won it back, and it came back to Ngwenya's feet. He popped it out wide towards the willing runner, Makonta. It will be Makonta to take the throw. Oh, and that's poorly miscontrolled by Nsinsia. Figueiredo getting a free kick. Neither of these nations has ever qualified for a World Cup or for an Africa Cup of Nations. What's at stake is really a chance to improve themselves on the international stage by getting in the group stage. They won't expect to advance to the playoff, whoever qualifies. Djibouti, the third lowest ranked African nation when the draw was made for these ties. That was just enough on that. Mwenza Banzaba back to the goalkeeper, Matabele Sandanezwe. Eswatini unafraid to mix things up. Some short passes, some longer balls. This looked tight. I have a feeling it might have been played onside by the defender at the top of the screen there. Sibonkosi, it was who played it out. Even on the bench, they're trying to shelter from the intense sun. The big throw by Ali Farada. Chance to hit one. Oh, that was the first shooting attempt of the game from Mohamed Fouad. Sibonkosi. The referee thought about giving a free kick, let play go momentarily, and then did come back for the foul in midfield on Finda Dlamini. Neither side able to retain possession for long in the first 10 minutes here. Out of play off in Ngwenya. Down the line by Mkonta. Well, I thought Nlerv might have just got his body in front of Douale there, but the referee deeming that there was enough contact for the free kick to be awarded. Ngwenya, smartly done by Ngwenya, shifted the ball on, was caught late. He was looking to give it and go, Ngwenya, and that's excellent midfield play from the home captain, really inspirational. And the first yellow card of the second leg. Looks like he's going to be no nonsense, the referee from Mauritania. It was late and it was uncontrolled from Hassan Musa Hiria. The referee wants the player removed from the field of play so that the treatment can continue. It's the number 9, Ahmad Hussein Maabe. Osama Hassan was left on the bench for this second leg, the former Belgian youth international. Quite a coup for Djibouti to persuade him to link up with the national side as Costa Papic looks on. The earlier Eswatini get a goal, the better for Papic's blood pressure. When the draw was made, everyone in Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, would have expected Eswatini to advance to the group stage. Higher caliber set of players than those available to Djibouti. Plus, of course, what happened 3 years ago when Eswatini beat the Shoremen of the Red Sea at the same stage of qualifying, 8-1 on aggregate. And Zambanzaba. An opportunity for Djibouti here, but that's excellent physical midfield work from Ngwenya, who ate up the ground on Mohamed Fouad Mir. Eswatini trying to pass their way out of defence with Matsenswa. Flicks off a Djibouti head. Wearing the protective headgear is Sabelo Nsinisa, the number 9. Matsenswa and Nsisa. Can't get it out of his feet there, but it's going to be an Eswatini free kick in a very dangerous position, won by Nleuv. Nleuv shifting it back to the outside, and he was taken out. A small committee forming around the ball, including Makonta, the 19. Innocent Mboni Hankwi is in goal for Djibouti. And Sibonkosi looking like he fancies this as well. Players up if they want to go for the dinked ball rather than direct shot at goal. I'd be really surprised if they didn't try to beat the 4-man wall and the goalkeeper here. A lecture for the two 21s there. Abbas Fouad of Djibouti and Finda Lamini of Eswatini. And it has been left for the number 6, Sibonkosi, who plays it straight into the wall but manages to get a follow-up attempt in. It's the first effort on target of the game, lacking the sting to trouble Innocent Hankwi. And Ngwenya, for me, he's been the outstanding player in the first 15. Figueiredo has talent. Figueiredo to the outside, and he's been brought down. That was an excellent run by Justice Figueiredo. The Mbombela United player on loan from Maritzburg United. Too much skill and too much pace for his opposite number. Eswatini will continue to look to him for inspiration. Well, they're ahead on aggregate. Djibouti won't mind these occasional stoppages. Of course, they won't want to lose any players to injury. De Reer there, who was brought into the team today. Yunus Musa De Reer. Julian Met, the Djibouti coach, watching on as it's played short by Eswatini. They've gone all the way back to their own half. They're missing an opportunity to get the ball in the Djibouti box, and now Djibouti have it near halfway. And Nguenya, he's everywhere. Figueiredo has superior close control compared to most on this pitch. Sibonkosi, Masenwa. Cross doesn't beat the first man. Djibouti slow to get up the pitch. Oh, nearly caught in possession, was caught in possession. Big chance here for Eswatini to level a tie on aggregate. And he just could not get the shot away. And Sinisa. Big opportunity after Djibouti were caught in possession. Dawdling on the ball, and the pocket picked by Matsenwa. Played across to Sinisa, who really shouldn't have taken a touch to control. He should have put the laces through the ball and struck a goal. He wanted the touch, and that allowed Djibouti to get in. Trailing on aggregate, Eswatini have the obligation to attack this game, and they have been the more threatening team. They will not want to concede an away goal to Djibouti. Helped on by Matsenwa, who's really coming into proceedings. And he's not having the best of games so far, the number 9, Sinisa. It is an Eswatini throw, though, is it? It is. The referee just wants it thrown from the right place. As Costa Papic gets in a discussion with the 4th official. And Löw. Mamba. Djibouti sitting off Eswatini and defending from their own penalty box. It's a long time to hold out, and they might have an injury here to Mohamed Fouad, who immediately cried out in agony after kicking the ball off. Just caught on the follow-through by Sibonkosi, and that will have hurt. Innocent Hunkui. Now it's Eswatini's turn to have some defending to do. Djibouti unable to hold on to the ball, and Gwenya's lost it though. That was a poor pass by Djibouti. They have to make the most of their rare occasions when they are in the final third of Eswatini. And Sabanzaba. No pressing on the ball carrier. Ali Hussein Mahabe is very isolated. The Djibouti number 9. He's doing what he can to cut off some passing angles, but not a lot he can do unless he's helped out by teammates. Now they do come towards the ball. That potentially giving Eswatini a route through the lines, but it has been won back by Djibouti. Fuad. And well played by Figueiredo, but he nearly lost it again, did Figueiredo. Sibonkosi. Lamini played it wide. Decent bit of skill there from Matsenwa, who had swapped wings, but lost again. And a few jeers from this crowd at Mavuso Sports Centre. Free kick to Djibouti inside the centre circle. Cut back inside, did Douala Mahmoud, and he was pushed off the ball. Weiss pointing something out. Referee making it very clear that the watch has been stopped. It's the goalkeeper, Innocent Hunkui, who wants some attention, clutching his right ankle. Eswatini will be pleased to see that the referee, Bedadani, is alert to any delaying tactics from Djibouti. I'm not suggesting that the goalkeeper has made this injury up. He does look in pain. But Eswatini want to know and need to know that they're not going to be deprived of the time that they require to get back into this tie. Well, the captain coming in to help out with the laces as the goalkeeper can put his gloves back on. It's very nice of Douala Mahmoud. Sorry, it's Weiss, of course, the number 15, wearing the captain's armband. Well, that was a lengthy hold-up, a good 2 minutes or so, so there will be a fair chunk of stoppage time at the end of the first half here. Mahabe, two blue players around him, and Ngwenya came away with the ball. Matsenwa is dispossessed, bounced off a Djibouti player, so it will be an Eswatini throw. Ngwenya and Justice Figueiredo have looked a class above the rest so far. That was an excellent pass. Can they finish it off now? Oh, it's the shooting that has let Eswatini down. It was perfectly laid back to be struck, but just as with the earlier chance for Sinsa has gone begging. Pulled back from the byline. Well, actually, there was a Djibouti midfielder running in. Here's Figueiredo. Figueiredo to the outside. Oh, that was a tempting ball. Now it needs someone to hit it. It's Ngwenya. Backspin all the way as it bounced quite high. Eswatini well on top, but unable to get the goal so far. Excellent from Justice Figueiredo. He burned past to Ali Mahmoud. And it was left there by Mamba for Ngwenya. Ngwenya must have given him the call. Cut across the ball as it had a high bounce on it. Flicked on to no one by Ali Farada. Abukada Jama going long. The sun very much in Matabele Sandanenzwa's eyes. Corner to be taken by Fuad. 5 Djibouti players into the area. It's been played to the edge of the box, and here come Eswatini. It's a bit of a foot race here involving the number 19 Makonte, and now Figueiredo working hard to keep his balance, and Eswatini have the ball right down at the other end of the field. Another opportunity to threaten the Djibouti goal. Sibonkosi, very good long throw. Figueiredo. Figueiredo shoots. It hit the defender. Eswatini corner. Worth a strike by Justice Figueiredo, only 21 years old. Stronger on his right foot. Clutch of players near the 6-yard box as it's played in by Sibonkosi, and the whistle is gone as 2 of those players hit the floor. And Sinisa was at the heart of that. And now there's a little scuffle. Yunus Musa Dirir was left on the floor from the Djibouti side and beating the turf. Happened just out of my eye shot. Let's have a look at the number 9 and Sinisa. Well, I'm not sure who exactly caught Yunus Musa Dirir there. From the replay, it looked like there was some pushing and shoving both ways, but the referee from Mauritania deciding that it would be a Djibouti free kick. There's yet another hold-up involving treatment to a Djibouti player. Coach is using the break in play to issue some instructions. Could be that as and Sinisa was trying to accelerate away towards the front post, that he did catch Yunus Musa Diria with his studs. Diria being helped onto a stretcher. Julien Metz, Djibouti have games against the Gambia in the preliminary round of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, as they've got their first real shot in there, and it was through Fuad, the number 7. Headed out Fuad's way, one touch to control. Always going to be difficult under that much pressure to get the shot on target. So it looks like Diria might be fit enough to come back on for Djibouti. Ali Farada. And the foul by the Djibouti frontman, Mahabe. Banzaba. A free kick on the edge of the centre circle as Nsisa was fouled. Figueiredo. And touched out by Fuad. Decent flick on. But again, the decision goes Djibouti's way, and the result is another Djibouti player beating the turf in pain. Excellent flick there. It was Nsisa putting himself about again. And slowly getting back to his feet is the captain, Weiss. Matsenwa. And Gwenya. And Konta. Eswatini continuing to have far more of the possession and the territory. Their finishing has been weak so far, and innocent Ankwi has had a peaceful time in the Djibouti goal. It might be about to change, but not with shooting like that from Justice Figueiredo. It was almost out of the stadium. They have to keep composed. There's still an awfully long way to go in this tie. It doesn't need anyone attempting the miracle strike just yet. Ankwi. Good football from the home team, but again, the final ball, the decision-making lets them down. Lindo Makonta this time. powered down the right wing. Only had one player in the middle. I think that was a cross. It was only Sabelo Unsanisa that he could have aimed for. Too much physicality from Ndlerv in midfield. A Djibouti free kick. One back, high up the pitch. Here's Maabe. The shot is blocked. And here come Eswatini. Djibouti still 2-1 ahead on aggregate, thanks to their first leg victory. Backing in there, the big forward, Finda Dlamini. A chance to turn on the ball for Mahmoud. Djibouti with men in the Eswatini half now. Farada. Diving header with good distance there. Our Djibouti coach Yamet has been trying to professionalise the structures in the country. I mean, so much to make the group stage of African qualifying for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Maabe beaten in the air by Idsan Banzaba. Well, Costa Papic will be disappointed with the lack of end product from his team. There's been no shortage of effort. It's been when they've got into the final third that they've started to hit problems with their decision-making and technique, just like there. That's a classic example. Sisekelo Matsenwa. The teenager with a poor cross in. Ngwenya. Mamba. One to chase there. It was pushed forward by Mamba, picked up by Matsenwa. Figueiredo into the box. Good strength, Figueiredo. That's about as close as Eswatini have come. He does look like the man who could potentially make the difference in this tie. Justice Figueiredo burnt past his man. The angle was against him, though. After beating Abbas Fouad. Nodded in field by Dlamini. Dlamini again to Matsenwa. That's good skill in midfield, but then the ball's given away by Ndlerv. Ndlerv, in trying to win it back, commits a foul. In fact, the foul was by his teammate Dlamini, and Love was on the scene as well. Sibonkosi. The decision going against Djibouti. Well, actually, it has gone his way in the end for Inzamam Zaba's challenged. I thought Mahabe was going to concede a free kick for backing in, just the way that Dlamini had at the other end a couple of minutes ago. Matabela putting 3 men in the wall, including the captain Ngwenya. Chipped up to attack, and it is an Eswatini head greeting the ball through Mamba. The ball in by Ali Farada. Abbas Fouad, the short throw to Mahabe. Mahabe trying to turn his man and Love. Good hold-up play from Mahabe. Now shows for the return ball, but Eswatini come away with it, and that's not going to threaten Matabela, is it? We are approaching the 45-minute mark, though there'll be a fair bit of added time at the end of this half for all of the Djibouti players that have been down requiring treatment in the first 45. The raised boot, but taking the ball from Gamedze Sibonkosi, and he's carried on his run. Sibonkosi, is he onside? He can't control anyway. And Sinisa, and the flag was raised in any case. Gamedze cutting inside, and Sinisa had strayed. Punted forward, and that'll be easy for Matabela. De Reer it was who knocked it up there, the 22-year-old. Figueiredo onto the loose ball. A bit more threatening down the right. Chance here, it's controlled and blasted over the bar by Love. Again, the lack of composure costing Eswatini. Clipped up very nicely. Not a bad first touch at all from Love. But then a wild finish. We'll wait to find out how much added time there will be at the end of the first half. Knocked up towards the penalty box, headed down. Two Eswatini players going for the same ball, Figueiredo and Sinisa getting in each other's way. Djibouti on the break. Hassan Musa Hirir hasn't seen a lot of the ball in the first 45. Matabela. Good flick on there. 2 minutes added on then at the end of the first half. Still Eswatini 0, Djibouti 0. Djibouti still 2-1 up on aggregate after their first leg success. That looks overhit to me, but might just hold up. Well weighted in the end, and Djibouti earn themselves a corner right at the end of the half. Douale Mahmoud. To be taken by Mohamed Fouad. Goes deep. Just seconds remaining in the first 45 as Nguyen strokes it out wide to the left. Well, bounced off the Djibouti player, Mohamed Fouad there, and Djibouti running the clock down towards half-time. They are only 45 minutes away from the second round of qualifying, only 45 minutes away from the group stage Djibouti. At half-time, it is Eswatini 0, Djibouti 0. Djibouti 2-1 up on aggregate. Eswatini have dominated territory and possession in the first half, but they have not made the Djibouti goalkeeper make a save. They're finishing far too wild. They must improve in the final third. Costa Papic's team, Julien Met of Djibouti, will be far the happier of the two coaches going in at the break. And we shall return with all the second half action live. Welcome back to our coverage of this FIFA World Cup qualifier between Eswatini and Djibouti. Djibouti leading 2-1 after the first leg, and that is still the way it stands. 0-0 after the first 45 minutes here. Finelo Mamba among the Eswatini substitutes going through his paces. It was Siboniso Mamba who scored the Eswatini goal in Djibouti in the 2-1 defeat. The Eswatini finishing just not good enough in the first half. They did create a few half chances, but unable to get shots on target. It's about being more accurate, it's about being more clinical for them in the second half. For Djibouti, well, they will be very happy as long as it stays 0-0. And of course, they would love to nick an away goal on the counter-attack. How much more drama will there be in the second half? Peter Dlamini also doing some warm-ups at the break. Eswatini into a team huddle before the start of the second half. Wandili Shabangli is on the bench. Shabangu who started the first leg. At the half, and Costa Papic's men need to produce a storming second 45 minutes here. Will the substitutes play their part? Eswatini being made to wait for Djibouti. Ahmed, the Djibouti coach, freely admits that it's the second division of African football and that Djiboutian clubs don't often participate in the continental competitions. For Eswatini, well, they and their supporters have to stay optimistic. 45 minutes is still a lot of football to be played. Out come Djibouti for the second half. They are in the position they want to be in. 2-1 up after the first leg and still 2-1 up on aggregate as it is 0-0 after 45 minutes in this second leg tie. Right, let's see what's happening. Let's see what will happen in the second half. Shabangu has stayed out there in order to try and give some advice to Zanisa. Will be doing plenty of checking of the watch in the second half, especially if the scoreline stays like this as it ticks down towards 90 minutes. Yusuf Abdi Ahmed to come on at the break. The tall Yusuf Abdi Ahmed. Keep an eye on who he replaces. In the first leg, he came on for Osama Hassan, who was not in the starting lineup today. 0-0 in the second leg between Eswatini and Djibouti. Djibouti leading 2-1 on aggregate. Yusuf Abdi Ahmed looked like he was going to come on for Djibouti, but he's now retreated to the bench. He'll have to wait a while longer. Here's Justice Figueiredo. Can Eswatini be more clinical? It's Figueiredo again. That wasn't a bad ball. He has looked the most likely player to break the deadlock, Figueiredo. That decision given against Justice Figueiredo for the push. First injury stoppage of the second half is an Eswatini player. So a lot of Djibouti players go down and require treatment in the first half. Innocent Hanquie using the short break in order to get himself some water. There is a Djibouti man down as well. Fuad sticking his boot back on, and now Djibouti make their substitution with Douale Mahmoud going off, and on comes the number 10, Yusuf Abdi Ahmed, who made a brief appearance off the bench in the first leg and will get rather longer here today. Hanquie. Fluid taken on board by Abbas Faoud before throwing the ball back onto the field of play. Doesn't stay there for very long. Time is against Eswatini. 2 balls on the pitch now. Sinisa fouled. Bit of energy here down the right-hand side from Makonta. The Djibouti substitutes thought that was a foul. It wasn't. Djibouti win it back and now play it up to Mahabe. Mahabe with a bit of skill, but Figueiredo nicks it off his foot, and Figueiredo over the top there. No whistle, mind, and it's Nguenya. Teenager Matsenwa losing it. Matsenwa dispossessed again by Mohamed Fouad, but it's back with Eswatini, neither side keeping possession for long. And a free kick to Eswatini. Sibonkosi, Gomedze cutting in. Djibouti going to ground and fouling. Quality of the set plays from both sides has left a lot to be desired. Will that change now? Maybe 25 to 30 metres out from Hanquie's goal. 4 in the wall. As Hassan Musa Hirir is shoved away from that wall. That's not too bad from Nsanisa, but still no save to be made to Hanquie. They have skied shot after shot today. At least that one threatened to dip. Clean catch by Costa Papic. Looks a touch frustrated, does Papic, as Abbas Fouad throws it back in. Mabe. Oh, the nutmeg from Mabe. Lovely skill. And earning the free kick off Makonta. Claims there was an elbow. There's Mabe, who has some talent. It was an outstretched arm, not an elbow from Makonta, but definitely a free kick. Beyond the far post and over the head even of the tall Hamza Abdi Taleh, who had gone up. Won by Abdou Kader Jama. Downfield by De Reer. Now Mamba. The foul on Matsenwa. Gemedja to take the free kick. And Guenya being called across. Referee saying if there's too much shoving, there'll be cards. Only one yellow card so far in this game. That was for Hirir in the first half. In from Gemedja, it's very deep. It was won by Eswatini, but Djibouti scramble up to halfway. Eswatini trying to pile the pressure on again as Figueiredo knocks it wide to Makonta. And now it's Anissa. And it's Anissa. Oh, what a chance that was! A glorious chance for Ndlove. The finishing has been abysmal from Eswatini. He was all alone, was Ndlove, with the goal at his mercy. Excellent play down the right from Ibn Sisa. And he just needed to keep the shot down. He couldn't do it, Ndlove. Weiss passing to Jama. Now back with the keeper, Hunkuye. Innocent Hunkuye. It's allowed to bounce. Maebe chasing and out of play by Siboniso Mamba. Substitution in the offing. And it's the end of Sabelo Itsanise's game. So it's Masenwa who's going off. And it's Fanilo Mamba coming on. Djibouti crossing chance. That's as much as they've created all game. Getting up between the defenders. Decent opportunity for Hirir. Fantastic run by Hirir between the two centre halves. Ngwenya has been fouled. Mahabe into the book. He's saying that's repeated fouling from Mahabe. Challenge from behind. And then I think Ngwenya was stood on by De Reer. Mamba has some pace. Mamba appeals for handball. Oh, the arm was outstretched and away from the body in an unnatural position. Look forward to seeing a replay of that. Djibouti benefited from 2 penalty awards in the first leg, and they've benefited here from one not being given. Mamba crossing the ball, and it lodged against the arm of Abdelkader Jama. It was hit from very close to him, and the referee would have taken that into account. Lamini. Back to the keeper, Matabela. Neat football from Eswatini. Building play well here. Gamedze. Figueiredo. And Ngwenya. Another Eswatini free kick. They really wanted was a penalty. Mamba crossing. Clearly struck the arm of the defender. Nowadays you tend to see more given than you would before. They did strike another body part before his arm, I think, there, which is probably what saved him. If the referee saw that, bounced up onto his arm. And overall, I have to say that I think he's got that one right. Beda Dani. High pressure, not only on the players, but also on the referees in these knockout 2-legged ties. Help down the line. Figueiredo burns past his man. Now cutting back inside, Justice Figueiredo. He's the magic man in blue. Mamba. The low cross takes a deflection and tidied up by Ali Farada. Now a strong run at the other end with Mohamed Fouad. And Ngwenya across to him, and Ngwenya fouls Mohamed Fouad. In from Djibouti. Work for the keeper. Good, confident catch by Matabela. Unable to launch the counter. Building with Figueiredo. Here they come. Eswatini. Mamba seeing lots of the ball. Good low cross, and that's a handball. Lamini handling that one. He's definitely got the beating of the defenders has Fanelo Mamba on that occasion, blasting past Abdulkader Jama. Here at Djibouti, it's Mabe. He's got some tricks, and Gwenya takes it off his foot. Figueiredo to the outside. Figueiredo hasn't hit that the way he wanted to, but look at the pace there of Mamba. Oh, he's really added energy down the left-hand side, has Fanelo Mamba. Another substitution coming up, and it will be the former Belgian youth international Oussama Hassan to come on. And off will go the number 20, Derriere. Forced to leave the field by the nearest possible point. That's part of the new regulations in force now in football. Oussama Hassan, who played for Belgium's under-15s and under-16 sides. Mamba. Two Djibouti players there before anyone from Eswatini could reach it. The header miscontrolled, and time continues to elapse here. Djibouti under half an hour away from a place in the group stage of African qualifying for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. And Gwenya. Figueiredo. Figueiredo. Hint of a handball there. Play continues. Decent cross stood up. Makonta with that cross. Now in from Mamba, and sure handling from Innocent Hankuye. Needed to be. A couple of dangerous crosses from Eswatini, who are slowly improving in the final third. They have an away goal, so one goal would be enough for them to go through. A 1-0 victory, as Gwenya has been hacked down. Figueiredo. And that's a Djibouti free kick. The new entrant, Hassan, fouled. Plays for Belgian side FC Serang, formerly at Racing Henk. Julien Metz saying it's hard to track foreign-based Djibouti players. Says certain Djiboutians left the country in the 80s and 90s and took on Somali citizenship so that they can't be found, in order to try and enhance the playing ranks of Djibouti. Figueiredo. Mamba was looking into the sun and shielded his eyes as that ball came over. Mamba, good looking ball here. Makonta with a bit of acrobatics and under no pressure there. Djibouti hammering it away. Needed a call from the goalkeeper, did the defender. Oh, great skill from Figueiredo. Cuts it back, it's going to come to Makonta. Back with Figueiredo, knocks it past his man. Figueiredo from the byline earns the corner. The classiest player on display, Justice Figueiredo. Gamedze, good ball, chance, no, can't turn it in again. The goal just not coming for Eswatini. Gamedze, Matabela, and in midfield, Hamza Abdi Idli. And a second Eswatini change, Menzi Sitole to replace Finda Dlamini. Nguenya. Figueiredo is fouled by Abbas Fouad. Maabey isolated. Djibouti really sitting back now, protecting their aggregate lead. This tie on a knife edge. Just one goal in it. A 1-0 Eswatini win, and Djibouti would be out. Figueiredo has been fouled by Abbas Fouad. And more players on Justice Figueiredo's wavelength, and Eswatini will be out of sight in this tie by now. Conte will take the free kick. Siboniso Mamba, who scored in the first leg, is up from the back to lend his height. Conte into the front post. Oh, the keeper's got half a touch on it, and then with the goalkeeper down, Eswatini's still unable to find the back of the net. As our cameras focus in on Siboniso Mamba. Confusion there, and Kanisa almost got there. It wasn't Mamba with the header at the far post, it was the substitute, Menzi Sitole. "20 minutes separating Djibouti from the second round of African qualifying for the 2022 World Cup, when the top 26 ranked countries will come into the fray. Already qualified from these two-leg ties are Tanzania, Equatorial Guinea, Ethiopia and Liberia. Will it be Djibouti or Eswatini to join them? So it will be 10 groups of 4 after this, and the group winners will be in home and away third round ties, the winners of each tie advancing to the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Mr. Papic good-humouredly, saying that there's been too much time wasting, and the referee is saying any more of that and there'll be cards. And create. All Djibouti can do is knock the ball out of play. Oh, a missed kick by Ngwenya. Djibouti on the counter with Maabé. It's a rare foray into the Eswatini half. Hassan Musa Hiria with the cross. There's Yusuf Abdi Ahmed in the middle, the tall substitute who's hardly touched the ball. Eswatini continuing to have all the possession and territory and half chances. Idle to the goalkeeper Hanquier. Figueiredo was having his shirt tugged by Abbas Fouad. Figueiredo still going, checks back, and Abbas Fouad gets him help from a teammate. That's the motivation of Djibouti, with a place in the group stage on the line. Figueiredo. And Love. There might have been a foul on Ngwenya, but it carries on. And Djibouti nearly getting themselves into a mix-up there. Maabé to aim for. They've gone one-on-one. Oh, the goalkeeper Matabele had to stretch to reach that from Nzimbanzaba. Quick feet from Mohamed Fouad. Djibouti on their heels there as Eswatini come forward again. It's Mamba. Mamba cuts onto his right this time. Another decent ball. Still needs a finish, and Love didn't control, and then it doesn't drop. For Unzanisa. That was the back header. And it was a good job Matabele was alert. Had he spilled that, Maabé would have had a tap-in. There's the yellow for time wasting. He'd warned them, and it's Mohamed Fouad into the book. The referee clearly doesn't believe that Mohamed Fouad is injured, even though, as he now walks off, he indicates he needs to be substituted. They have used 2 substitutes already. Ngwenya. Nisa. Sitole. Contact. That's not a bad ball. And Love misses it. Now Mamba. Another handball appeal. And again, it's turned down. It's going to be a corner. Mamba very lively since his introduction, and that definitely struck the arm again. It was Abbas Fuad, the 21, with his right arm outstretched, and that was a better claim than the first one, in my view. Figueiredo. Flicks it wide for Makonta. Makonta into the area. Needs a finish, and still no finish. It was Hassan who got it away, but still Eswatini come back at them. The pressure is unrelenting, but Djibouti are holding out. And that's a good catch by Hanquiye as the cross came in from Gamedze Simongenkosi. The long punt by Hanquiye. Turning on the ball, Udson Ramzaba. Knocked into touch by Abbas Fuad. Sitole. Deep cross, nodded back nicely, but that's good defensive work from Yusuf Abdi Ahmed, as Justice Figueiredo was about to pull the trigger, as Sabilo Udsanisa had knocked it his way. They are defending as a team, Djibouti, valiantly fighting for a place in the second round. Gamedze. Here's the chance, but the flag is up against Mamba. Vanilla Mamba just went too early. The last change then. Vanilla Sabedze is coming on. Jabulo Unlove is going off. It is now or never for Eswatini in terms of them trying to reach the second round of African qualifying for the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Clearly a metre beyond the last defender there, Mamba. Not the first time Hanquiye has had some treatment. The backup keeper warming up just in case. There will be some added time at the end of the game because just like in the first half, there have been several hold-ups. The referee is alert to any time-wasting tactics of Djibouti. It remains 0-0 in the second leg, and Djibouti continue to lead 2-1 on aggregate. A great achievement for Julien Met, who took advice from other French coaches in Africa when he took over. He spoke to the former Kenya boss, Sébastien Migné, and the Raja Casablanca coach, Patrice Carteron. With no goalkeeping change required. It's going to be Mohamed Fouad off. He was on a yellow card. Ahmed Yusuf Omar to come on for him. Djibouti, like Eswatini, have now made their 3 changes. Here is Ahmed Yusuf Omar. He can't be far away from a booking. Innocent Hankriye. Checking the gloves, checking the shin pads. Mabe. There's the substitute Sabedze, his first involvement. Will be a Djiboutian throw by the looks of it, much to Sabedze's displeasure. And another yellow for time wasting. Ali Farada, the 4th Djiboutian player booked. No one from Eswatini has been carded. Djibouti happy for the ball to be in this part of the field. It's a corner ball. Can't be offside from a throw. And then it came off Ngwenya, and that's why there is this flag kick for Djibouti. They will not overcommit. 2-1 up on aggregate. Look, they've only got 2 men in the box. They've left everyone else back. They play it short, really trying to run down the clock here. Down the line, Figueiredo helps it on. Infield from Mabe to the substitute Yusuf Abdi Ahmed, and a shot on target that Matabela has to save. Kicks it straight downfield. Mamba. Well defended by Ali Farada. Worth a pop. Caught it really well. Makonta. No whistle. Mamba. Makonta. Figueiredo. Oh, the goalkeeper getting in behind it. Innocent Hankriye collided with the post there as well, but kept it out, and that's what's crucial. Mamba. Eswatini with Mamba. Djibouti with plenty of men back. Eswatini with nearly everyone forward. They just need 1 goal. And Ngwenya, assured from him. Sabedze trying his best. Comes for Ngwenya again. Gamedze. Ngwenya trying to inspire his team. He has covered an awful lot of ground today, as Ngwenya has a very good engine on him. Like a handball from Finelo Sabedze. Let's have another look at Justice Figueiredo. That's the best he's caught any of his numerous attempts at goal today, and he managed to control the shot into the near post on target, but it was read by the keeper. Touch of cramp for Djibouti. The referee calling for the stretcher. This will mean Djibouti temporarily being reduced to 10 men. Play will restart with the Djibouti free kick to be taken by their captain Wais. 2 minutes plus added time separating Djibouti from the group stage. Substitute Ahmed Yusuf Omar dispossessed. Makonta. And Sinisa. Sabedze. Figueiredo shifts it nicely. Gamedze. And now Finelo Mamba. Headed uppishly by Sitole, and it's going to come for Figueiredo now. Makonta. Caught away by Ahmed. Hamza Abdi Tale. Idle, sorry. And now Maabe. Maabe. Ahmed Yusuf Omar. He loses it to Nzabanzaba. And now Makonta. Eswatini have the field position, but they don't have much time left. Figueiredo. Figueiredo opening up for Justice Figueiredo. Can he be the hero? No. Too many Djibouti shirts around him. Maabe. And Ngwenya charging after this. How much added time will be signalled? Finelo Mamba winding up for the long throw. Mamba, great distance. Under no pressure, Djibouti get it away wide, and now into the Eswatini half, and the goalkeeper Matabela is onto it. 5 minutes added on. Eswatini, remember, just need the one goal to go through on the away goals rule. Sabedze always gives the crowd a lift when the fourth official holds up a big number. Gamedze, decision to make here for the referee. No penalty again is the decision. A couple of handball appeals, that didn't look particularly convincing. Run into the corner by Djibouti. The decision is given Eswatini's way, but they're down to only 3.5 minutes left to save themselves. Djibouti close to vengeance for their 8-1 aggregate defeat at this stage 3 years ago. Here come Eswatini, that ball's been overhit, but look at the pace of Mamba, arguably the quickest player in this match. Fanilo Mamba can't find the killer pass though. He was looking for Sabela Tsanisa. Julien Met can barely watch. He's in his late 30s, is Julien Met. Spells at Congolese Premier League clubs, Tongo and Atoo. We know that Mamba's got distance on these throws. He proves that again. In comes the shot. Oh, and it's hit the woodwork. That's how close Eswatini were to getting the crucial goal. They might still. That was smashed against the woodwork by Sabedzi. What a dramatic finish to this encounter. Djibouti riding their luck. Well, so many must have thought that this would be the moment at the Mavuso Stadium. Sabedzi caught it so well, the substitute. The goalkeeper was well beaten. And it bounced back. Not long to go. Djibouti just need to keep it away from their own goal. And they'll be going into the group stage. The long throw down the line. I think it did just come into play, and now thrown back by Eswatini as Costa Papic knows that time is almost up. Just one more long throw, I reckon. Weiss getting back into position. Mamba starting his run up from the running track. Innocent Hanquie waiting. Mamba winds up those wrists. Oh, and it was won by Eswatini, by Siboniso Mamba, but he couldn't control. And there's the final whistle. Djibouti have done it. 0-0 in the second leg. Djibouti through 2-1 on aggregate. Holding on at the end there as Sabedzi crashed a long-range shot against the crossbar for Eswatini. Eswatini were wasteful in attack, and it is pure jubilation for Djibouti and their coach Julien Met. They were not fancied in this tie, but they are going through to the group stage. and Eswatini's players look shell-shocked. They just weren't sharp enough in the final third, not enough attempts on target, although that man, Sabedze, almost got Eswatini through on the away goals rule. Had it lodged into the back of the net, it would have been Eswatini celebrating now and not Djibouti. Well, Julia Metni's players have more big games to look forward to now in the group stage against the giants of the continent. And that's why Wais, the captain, and the rest are so happy. Eswatini 0, Djibouti 0 in the second leg. Djibouti 2, Eswatini 1 on aggregate. Many thanks for watching this one in the company of me, David Crossan, and we will leave you with these scenes of pure Djibouti joy.